Hello there, my fellow YouTubers. This is Cassandra72. Today is Tuesday, November the 19th, and I am coming to you all with another Mounjaro update. Let's just get ready to get into it. The first things first, I'm actually going to go ahead and make my protein coffee here. So today I have a salted caramel quest, which has 30 grams of protein. I'm going to add that to my Javi coffee here. I have the sugar cookie variety, and I've added a little bit of a creamer to it. But without further ado, we're going to get into this goodness that is my Javi coffee. So, all right. So, yes. Today, we're going into the week 26 update. Week 26 for the week that would have ended on 11/14. All right, so I ended that week with a 3.8-pound weight loss. I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. But I actually did end up taking 2 shots that week because I started the week at 321. And I'm really not sure why I decided I was going to double up on shots that particular week. In my mind, I thought maybe I was experiencing somewhat of a stall. So I took shots number 26 and 27 that week. That past week, I took 7.5 in the left thigh on Thursday, the regular shot day, and I went from 321 to 319 there. So I lost 2 pounds on that portion of the shot. At least that's how I'm viewing it in my mind. And then on Sunday, I took the shot in the stomach area, like the upper left side, and that was a 5 milligram. So that was 1110. I took that shot, and then I lost another 1.8 pounds on that particular shot. A total of 3.8 for the week. So that's my update from last week. Today, so far. And so now that brings us to today, the 19th. So this would have been a 7.5 for shot number 28. And I took that on Thursday the 14th. I was at 317.2. And today, on November 19th, I'm 317.2. Bringing us to a whopping total of a 0-pound loss. But in my mind, I actually didn't even realize that when I got on the scale this morning, I was just happy that I was getting pretty much consistent weights, because I've been having issues with my scale where I wasn't even sure if I trusted that scale anymore, because this is my Renfo scale that is kept in the bathroom, which I have been weighing consistently on since June. And then I've gotten the Withing scale that I got a couple months back with the Project Power program that I am a part of as it relates to diabetes. And that one is kept right now in my room because while it is carpeted, it came with carpet feet. But I'm weighing much less in there, which it was only like between tenths of a pound to a pound off at most. And now it's weighing me about 3 or 4 pounds less. But that was more so for, I'll use that weight for the program that I'm on because they sent me the scale. I'll use that there. But as far as my official weight that I record everywhere, I'm using the Renfo. And so I'm glad that my Renfo is now giving me what appears to be consistent weight. I got a few different weights this morning, but they were not all over the place as they have been. And they were within like a pound of each other. The only other measurement I got this morning that I got multiple times was 316.6. I got that twice, but I got 317.2 3 times. So that is what we're rolling with. So don't feel bad about that, because when I actually got the 317.2 on the 14th, I felt it might be kind of a fluke anyway, because I was 318.6 the day before. And with the nature of what I've gone through in the past, well, I have lost a pound before between the dangers. So I won't say that. Well, I don't know. Shot 21, it seems like I lost like 3. So I think that was a fluke too when I got down to 319 on October the 10th. And then the next day I was 320. So I feel like my scale has been bouncing around for a while. That's basically the point. But now I feel like it's calibrated and we're good to go again. At any rate, that would have been 1.4 pounds in a day. generally for me, I don't generally lose that much in one day between that Wednesday and Thursday. It's generally right there at the same. It may even go up. So when I took shot 28 at 317.2, the very next day I was back at 319.6, and there is no reason that I should have been up that much. And then it has pretty much gone down consistently. So Thursday I was 317.2, then Friday 319.6, Saturday 318.6, Sunday 318.8, Monday 318.2, and now today 317.2. So like I said, that's putting me dead even, and I'm good with that. I feel like now I can officially say that I am below pre-pregnancy weight way back in 2004. So I feel like I can officially claim that, and where that puts me weight wise on the GLP-1 medication, that puts me at 44.4 pounds down on the GLP-1. Yay! And overall, from my highest weight of 380.3, as I scroll over to my Fitness Pal, I should have had this up already, but from my Fitness Pal, that number is, looks like 63.1 pounds since my beginning weight. 63.1 pounds down. So I will take that. But yeah, 44.4. My next milestone that I'm really trying to reach is 315. So that is 2.2 pounds from there. But my goal that I'm really shooting for this week, I'm not even shooting for anything crazy. If I could just get down that point 0.6 to a total of 45 pounds lost, which would be the next milestone that it'll show me of whatever the equivalent is on the Lose It app, then I will be happy. So that is basically what I am shooting for. So hopefully come the 21st, I will be at 316.6. I think that's what it is, right? I need to lose 0.6 pounds. Yep. 316.6. And had I claimed that 316.6 that I saw on the scale this morning, I would already be at the 45. But I'm not going to do that. If it's correct, then it will show by the end of the week, because I am getting up. I'm pretty much back on my game. We're trying to make sure that I get in my protein. I'm prioritizing that. I can still say that I truly have not done the exercise that I should, but according to my Apple Watch, I'm getting in the steps. And I will say that even at home, I'm being a little bit more active than I have been in the past. So that's a good thing. It's just a matter of pulling out that walking pad. I've not done it. And it's not hard. It literally sits behind the door in my bedroom. Just pull it out, girl, and get on it, right? So that's where we are there. I will be taking 5 milligrams again this week, another 5 milligram this week on 11/21. That will round me out to get me back on track, where I had the mishap when I took a 7.5 when I was still on the 5 milligram regimen. And then the following week on 11/28 is when I will finally up myself to the 10 milligram. And I do have 2 boxes of 10 milligrams sitting in my refrigerator right now. And I'll still have a whole nother box of 7.5 as well. And I think this will leave me with 2 pens of the 5 milligram. So I have a healthy little stash, if you will. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary, just working the system, as it were, if you will, as when you change dosage, basically it looks like a new prescription. So the insurance company typically will refill the same prescription. Well, at least with these GLP-1 meds. I don't really know about, specifically about other medications, but with the GLP-1, they will cover you every 21 days. So I think that's to make sure that you do get the medicine in, and you're not having to skip a week. So they don't make you wait the whole month. They make you just wait the 21 days. And but with the Weight Watchers sequence, I guess it's kind of classified as telehealth in a sense. I can request a refill after 2 weeks for them. And so I just, like I said, play those numbers. And so if I say, okay, now I'm ready to dose up, and say I just got the 7.5 and then I just got it 2 weeks ago. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and ready to move up to 10. I don't have to wait that 21 days for the insurance company because now I'm moving to 10. So technically at 2 weeks or the 14 days, the insurance company will allow me to get the 10 because it's a different dosage. So that is kind of how I ended up with a little, I won't even really call it a stash per se, but a little bit of a buffer as far as my medications go in case there's ever a shortage again, which we hope there will not be. But yeah, I will be going on that 10. And I think I discussed the fact that the doctor was wanting to move me to 12 already the last time that I took a shot. I mean, the last time that I requested a refill, and I'm like, I've only been on the 10, which wasn't true. I've only been on the 10 for 1 month. Well, I really, I should have been, I was finishing up my 7.5s then, but she wanted to go ahead and move me up to the 12.5 when I had only had 1 month of 10. And even though I had not started it yet, we're not moving up that quickly. And because right now, I don't know, they may end up increasing dosages later on, but right now we still only have 15 milligrams that we can go up to. And so I'm not trying to rush through those last three. I'm good at, look, we're going to go with 10 and we're going to ride 10 until the wheels fall off, basically, because I really feel like I have a good momentum or whatever going now. So that's where we are. But yeah, she wanted to move me up, and I'm like, let's not do that. Because I also said that I wanted to, well, let's see exactly how that conversation went, shall we? But basically, I was saying, go ahead and give me another 90-day script, even though I get my prescription filled at Amazon, and for whatever reason, the insurance company will not do a 90-day script at Amazon, even though they do 90-day scripts other places. So yeah, so that's when she wanted to move me to the 12.5, and I'm like, let's go your roll. We're gonna stay on this 10, and I want a 90-day script. And that is what she ultimately did. And I'm glad that that happened because my labs, which I think I briefly discussed last week, I went to have blood drawn on the 8th. The labs came on the 9th. And as far as the diabetic portion of it went, my A1C, just as a recap, it went from 9 on May the 2nd to a 5.8. So I went from clearly diabetic to in the pre-diabetic range. But again, this was with the help of the medication. And the other cause, my cholesterol was still high, but it went down 9 points. And individually, those things look good. But the thing that was a cause for concern for the doctor once I got my labs done was the creatine and my EGF. No, that's not how you say that. I keep wanting to say creatine, but it's creatinine, I think. That number was kind of high. My EGFR was low. And so I was asked if I had any issues with my kidneys in the past, and I have not. But she asked that, she wants me to be able to stay on the program. And so asked me what my doctor thought about that and whether or not they would consider me basically okay to stay on the program. So I had to have a form filled out and faxed over to them in order to say yes or no. I was considered either low risk or moderate risk. I think I still would have stayed on it either way because it was not phrased in such a way that you don't, you're not able to stay on. It just helps them to, I guess, assess what they feel like the risk was. But I was able to get that information sent in and we are good to go. Then she did ask a follow-up as to whether or not I would be able to, they were going to redo the labs. And so I said, I can do the labs, but I'm not actually able to physically get in to get an appointment until January the 21st, but all is well for now. And so she was great with that. Well, no, it was either the patient is at a low risk or the patient was at a prohibitive risk. So I guess prohibitive would have meant we don't, we're not going to move forward. But we are great. They got the clearance that says I'm at a low risk. So we're going on And I am happy that I will actually be able to get into the doctor, even though it's way in January. And we will finally establish whether or not I am 5'3" or 5'4", which matters in a sense, but in a sense it doesn't, because I don't feel like I'm ever going to want to be, I'm never going to want to be at that level that they talk about as far as being within a quote unquote healthy BMI. But it'll help in a sense to, I guess, determine how quickly I can move from that final or first, because I'm working downwards, that first class of obesity down to overweight. So that's where we are there. So I can't wait to see what the doctor officially says I am. What else? All right, so yeah, we discussed the lab core and the doctor appointment, everything else. The only other thing I guess I need to discuss is, oh, the supplements that I've been taking. There are a couple. I actually received a shipment of Skinny Fit Youth Collagen, and I have been taking that consistently since I got it. And I've only taken it about 4 or 5 times right now, but I really feel like it is helping. I don't know. I don't know if collagen is supposed to, I know it's supposed to probably make your face feel look fuller and help with your hair and nails. That I'm definitely not expecting to see anytime soon. I do have 2 bags of the super youth collagen. I'll be doing that for at least right now the 60 days. Um, so that's what I'm giving it, and we'll see. But I really feel like, and maybe it's just, I don't know if it's something, I don't know what it is. I feel like there's a glow about myself. I'm not even really, I need to get back into my skincare routine, but I feel like, I feel like things are looking a little bit better, and that may have to do with the fact that the super youth collagen is already doing a little bit of something. And I don't know, maybe it's a placebo effect, but whatever it is, I will take it. So that is a new supplement that I'm adding into the regimen. And then the I take lipotropic shots, a lipo B and a lipo C, alternating every other day. And so this morning I took my lipo C shot, and I'm also taking a lipo enhancer. But I also started something called AM Shred, and so I added that today, and I'm excited to see what that it does for me. I get all of those products from Be Ye Transformed, and I just got I really wish that I had gotten it in early enough on Monday, but it's a situation where you take it basically 5 days off, 5 days and then 2 days off. And so of course it can be any 5 days, but for me, just to make it simple, I want to do Monday through Friday, take it, and then be the off on the weekend. But basically it's a blend of AOD 9604, tesamorelin, and BPC 157. And the AOD 964, it contains 5 milligrams of that, and that is a modified fragment of human growth hormone that has been studied for its potential effects on fat metabolism and weight management. It has 5 milligrams of the tesamorelin. That's also a growth hormone releasing. It's a growth hormone. Okay, I think I'm reading from the website. I think this is phrased wrong. Um, I think it's a growth releasing hormone, is what they're saying, analog that has been investigated for the role in promoting growth hormone secretion and its potential impact on body composition. And then the BPC 157, 5 milligrams of that as well. That is a peptide that has been researched for its regenerative properties, particularly in tissue healing and recovery. I am taking that, and I am super excited to see what it does for me, in preparation to see how that does for me. I have I did an update with the Me 360. which was kind of was like, you know what, you should have just waited your regular day. Because what I have been doing is I have been taking the scans for my Me 360 at the end of every um month, basically, that I end a box. So for instance, on the 21st, which will be the fourth dose from my last box, I'll take that, and then I will do my measurements a week later on the 28th, after, of course, that shot has had time to do its magic in my system. I last taken measurements on October the 31st, which would have been the end of the last box. But I said, let me go ahead and take these measurements to give myself a starting point. I was also thinking I did something else called Slim X with them, but I'm not really going to discuss that right now because I didn't really take measurements for that. And that's probably going to be more so of a how does it look, because that's something that a regimen that you would take monthly. But again, I didn't really take any measurements at the start of it, just a couple of pictures to see. But that's where I am as far as those scans go, giving you the rhyme or reason behind my scans. But then some of them, I just don't know why I took them when I did. I know I took the first one on May 21st, which was 4 days after I started the shots. And then I took it again on June 4th for some reason. And then July 2nd, which was a month later. I don't know if that aligned with the shots. But then what confuses me, and you guys don't care about this, but I took a shot on I took measurements on August 9th, but then I turned around and took them again a week later. I'm not really sure why I did that. But from there on, September 5th, October 3rd, October 31st, I know those aligned with the ending of a specific box. But anyway, what I want to get into right now is to just give my starting point. And why did I say I wanted to compare these two numbers? I don't really know. But in any event, I am starting at 54.4% body fat, which unfortunately is up 3.5 from October the 31st. So a little bit fatter. My chest went down 0.3 at 57. My stomach, it says I've gone up 1.7 to 58.9 inches. My waist went up 0.6. So at 53.4, and then my hips supposedly have gained 3 inches, 58.7 from 55.7. Basically everything is up. Bicep, left one is up 0.1 to 19.3, right is up 0.1 to 18.5. My forearms went down 0.1 for the left to 13.8, and the right down 0.2 to 13.4. Since my thighs have gone up, left up 1.1 to 31.1, the right up 1 to 31.5, and my calves are at 19.5 for both left and right, and that's both up a tenth of a pound. And then my body surface area right now is reading at 24.7 feet, up 0.2 from 24.5 2 weeks ago, and my lean mass is down 13.3 to 145.6. But yeah, so that's where we are between those 2 weeks. But hopefully by the time I actually end up doing my measurements on 11/28, I will be considerably down. But let's just go ahead and compare the the very start, basically May 21st to yesterday. My body fat is actually down 4.9. I started at 59.3. I've overall lost 2.5 in my chest, 4 inches in my stomach, 5.4 in my waist, 5.1 in my hips, and my biceps are down, left 0.7, right 0.1. For some reason, the forearms still were higher, but I've gone down a total of 3.4 in my left thigh and 3.8 in my right, and then the calves, again, for some reason, look like they've gone up. And the only thing that I can think, I don't know why forearms and calves would be the things that are consistently wonky. If I was lifting weights or something like that, or training really hard to increase those muscles, I could understand that, but there's really no reason for it. And anyway, and overall, my body surface did decrease from 27.5 to 24.7, and my lean mass is actually up overall since the beginning, point 0.4, from 145.2 to 145.6. So yes, that is where we are there, and that's pretty much all I got. That's pretty much all I have. So we're just gonna see what this AM shred does. Like I said, that I got in yesterday evening, so I was able to start it today. So this week I'll only actually be doing it for 4 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then next week is when I'll be able to actually do it for the full 5-day regimen. But I hope it works. I hope it works. We're gonna see. Um, and also I'm thrifty, kind of thrifty. I think, well, no, actually with this one she did not run a sale because it was on pre-order. But I was able to use a coupon or ambassador code on it to get it a little bit further down. But I'm probably not going to see results as quickly as anybody else because of the fact that I, in a sense, ration my stuff out. I'm trying to make it last. And I don't want to be solely dependent upon other supplemental things in case there comes a time where I really can't get them. Because, for instance, that AM shred was $215, and then it's not even a full vial. It's only I think 4 or 5 milligrams, milliliters, 4 or 5 milliliters in the vial, of liquid in the vial. And so the distributor did say, you take about, if you're trying to do it for it to last all month, and you're doing the 5 days of taking it and 2 days off, you draw about 20 units. And so that is what I'm trying to do, because I want to make my stuff at least last the month, because that's not something that I can be doing and getting every couple weeks. So I do plan to receive results, but like I said, it just might not be as quickly as others who may take maybe 50 units or something like that every day, because that's not how my budget's set up. And the couponer slash retired couponer, frugal saver that's in me just is not letting my mind, they're just not gonna let me do so much no matter what. So, but yeah, that's where we are. Another thing that I wanted to talk about before I let you go is non-scale victories. I almost completely forgot about those. And so the non-scale victories is just overall just feeling a little better about the skin that I am in, and still quote unquote shopping in my closet. And I did a little bit of decluttering. This doesn't have anything to do with the shopping in my closet. Decluttering, though, I did find some things that lend themselves toward being a non-scale victory as well. I found some old workout clothes, so shirts that I could get into, shorts that were once tight, which those weren't workout shorts, but just regular shorts that I can get into that fit way tighter than they do now. I actually have a lot of room in these things. I was able to get into 2 bathing suits that I was not able to get into the last time I went to the beach. So options, okay. Happy to see that. And then I was able to get almost into a pair of workout pants that are an extra large, which was weird because which they're more so along the lines of yoga and really stretchy. But then I had 2 other pairs of workout gear that I'm like, okay, there's no chance in the world I'm getting ready to get into that right now. And those were XXL, which I realize is not the same as a 2X. I just recently learned that. I probably should have already always known, but I'm just recently learning that. So, and again, the old couponer slash frugal person in me would not let me throw those away just yet. I did get rid of some things, but I could not get rid of those just yet because, number one, they still have tags on them. And I, I I spent my money on them. I probably didn't spend too much, but I spent my money on them. And if everything goes according to the way it's supposed to, or the way that I want it to, eventually I should be able to get back into those. And I'm gonna need more workout clothes, and it makes no sense for me to throw those away when I can have already had them in my repertoire. So yeah, why throw them away when you know you're definitely, on track to being able to get into them soon. So yeah, that's where we are with that. But into the shop of my closet now, the shirt that I have on today is actually one that I got from my job. I think I was always able to wear this. I never was not able. I don't recall ever not being able to wear it. There could have been a time during the pandemic when I got up to the 380 that I was not able to, but I wasn't trying to put on collared shirts and things like that during the pandemic. Now we're when we're working from home. So but there was never a time that I couldn't wear it from my remembrance, if that makes any sense. I just had not tried it. So as far as I know, I was always able to put this on from the beginning. But I do have some pants on that had tags on them. And there are 3X, but I don't know if you'll be able to see these. Well, maybe if I pull this chair back a little bit. Yeah, these pants from Rue 21. Yeah. And Rue 21 Plus. But I had bought them for a trip or something. I think that I ultimately didn't take or something like that. I remember now. I was like, why did I have these clothes? I bought these clothes because I was going to a planner conference. I want to say I was planning for it in 2020, but then the pandemic hit, so they canceled it. So yeah, initially that's why I ordered these clothes. I was like, why did I order this stuff? And they canceled it, and then ultimately we ended up going in 2022. That's what it was. I'm pretty sure at some point the pants did fit, but I had gotten to the point where they did not. And then when I was trying them on during the course of this journey, ever so often, I was able to get them on, but they were still tight. And while I could sit, I won't say it was so much comfortably. I could have dealt with it, but now I can get into them, sit comfortable. I got room. I can pull it out, in the stomach area because that was the problem area. So I got room where I can like grab fabric. So I'm happy with that. I'm able to, put myself together a little bit better and get out of my uniform of the athleisure pop fit leggings and t-shirts. So yeah, that's one thing I am happy about. So I think that's a pretty good non-scale victory, even if no one else does. But all right, you guys, that is it. If you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, until the next video, peace and blessings.